speaking of good foods, we have on Iridologist Ronald Simpson to talk about the importance of using herbs daily. Let's go and talk to him now. Welcome to the show, Ronald.
Always delighted to be here.
It's lovely to have you here because every time you're on, I have to say we always learn some fascinating facts about food. And today we're going to be talking about herbs.
Well, what I'd like to do is you remember every time we start with there's a reason why, right?
Yes.
Well, I'll give you just a short introduction of how I got into herbs. I was 3 years old, right? My grandfather from my mum's side was French, right? And he grew herbs and he grew his own food. And I remember he said to me, he said, Ronald, come outside, I'm going to show you where your food comes from. And so then he showed me how the plot was landed, like that. 3 years old, what you learn. So how it was laid, and he showed me the chocos and the avocados. And then as part of that process, he introduced me to herbs, right? And I'll tell you, I am so grateful to him because herbs are the essence of food, right? The essence, right? You see, I see so many cooking shows where they talk about bacon and chicken, but hardly any herbs are used, right? So what we've done at our house is that we've planted 48 herbs.
48?
48.
Wow.
48 herbs, right? And the herbs, they had so much more flavour, right? For example, my grandma taught me how to cook chicken with thyme and rosemary and garlic, right? The chicken just comes alive, right? So if you eat this bland piece of chicken, it's all dry and all that, but the herbs all herbs have got oils of some kind. So when you drive the oil into the chicken or you drive the oil into your fish, right, like I'm going to explain in a minute, what actually happens is that your whole food comes alive, right? So now what's fascinating about that is that when your taste buds have this amazing taste of thyme or olive oil or bay leaf, you actually create the medium to improve your health tremendously because your food is digested fully.
Wow, okay.
Fully. So herbs are not just herbs, they are the essence of food, right? So for example here, this is some of the most common ones. And again, when I see cooking shows, I don't see all of this being used, right? So I'll just give you some example, like dill, right? Dill. This is brilliant with fish, okay? So you grill your fish, and then as the fish is ready, you chop up the dill, and you put it on top, and you put a bit of apple cider vinegar and Spanish olive oil. Your fish comes alive, like 5-star quality, right? And chervil is magnificent with pineapple and mango.
That one I've never heard of.
Yeah, it's a very delicate herb. It's some similar grain to so the chervil is very tiny. So what actually happens with chervil, you get a pineapple, you cut the pineapple up into slices and chunks, and then you put the mango, and then you put chervil and then sea salt.
Oh, okay.
Unbelievably tasty, you know. Who thinks about doing that? But you put chervil and mango and it comes alive, you know. That's your dessert, right? Yeah. Basil is one of my favourites.
Yeah, I love
brilliant, right? Like, you know, when you do like a bruschetta, you get spelt bread.
Yeah.
And then you put your olive oil on there, you put your garlic, and then you put chopped up basil on there, and you can put bits of chicken and so on. You know, it just comes alive, right? So I can tell you that. What you've got to do is you've got to grow your own herbs. Because when you get stuff, like for example, you take bay leaves, right? Look at bay leaves. Now, look, this is our bay leaf, right? Have a look at that. Amazing.
It's amazing.
Now, this is the real. Now, what amazes me, you go to a supermarket, you get about 5 leaves like that, right? Dried. 70 pence. I thought, I'm not going to have this. So about 5 years ago, I bought a bay leaf tree. It was about 1 foot high. Now it's about 6 foot high. Paid £40 for it. But guess what? I've never ever had to buy bay leaf again. So this is one of our favourites. So we take 5 leaves like that. So when we cook chicken, we take the 5 leaves. This is full of oil. That's why it's fresh. So you go like that, and then you put in your chicken, or you put in your meat, or you put in.
Do you cut it up or just put it whole?
No, just like that. Just like that. We'll just take the leaf off like that.
Yeah.
You see, like that, and then I'll give you a smell. Just smell that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Amazing, isn't it? See, so that's alive, right? So I don't know why people insist on buying bay leaves that are dry. just ridiculous, you know. So when you take about 5 for say 2 people, and then the idea is you don't, like bay leaf in this case, you put it in and you cook it, and then after you take it out.
Yeah.
Now this is incredibly good for you. You know why? That's full of selenium. Now most foods today got no selenium, and selenium has been proven to be anti-cancer. So when you cook with that, you're getting a dose of selenium every day. So bingo, no cancer. Now, I mean, cancer is a major problem. So that's one of the answers, right?
Wow. So simple, isn't it? But
simple, but it's deep, you know.
Yeah.
So let's look at the next slide. Oh, by the way, just before we go, tarragon. That is an amazingly good herb with lamb. So the way you cook herbs, now I've seen the way the Indians cook herbs. They put their herbs in first, and then they fry it, like onions, ginger. They fry it, and then they put their meat, their lamb, whatever. I've learned the other way. You cook your chicken first with, say, onion and garlic and ginger first, and the delicate herbs like the tarragon
at the end.
On top.
Yeah.
You see, you put it on top. Then you get the flavour of the ginger and the
Would
garlic.
you put it at the beginning as well, or towards the end?
With the tarragon, you mean?
Yeah.
No, put it at the end.
At the end.
Because you see, this is a very delicate herb. If you cook it,
it just loses its.
You lose the flavour.
Okay.
You lose all its goodness. But in the things you cook first, like ginger, garlic, chili, and what, that first, and then things like tarragon and chervil and dill are very fragile. So you put them on the top. Then you get the onion flavour, the garlic flavour. And then you've got that delicate flavour of the tarragon.
Okay.
And one of the best things with this, if you put that in apple cider vinegar, right, we use a brand called Bragg's, right? Best, really good.
Yeah, I've got
okay?
I'll get that one.
Use that one, and then you put olive oil with it. It is incredibly good for you. And it's also very tasty, see? So let's look at by the way, we've got all of this.
Yeah. Oh,
now, what happens is that even if you live in a small apartment...
I was going to ask about this, what if you don't have a garden?
Yeah, If you're in a small apartment, you can make a little box like that, or some people make that, you can buy it, right? But they'll sell that for £20. But you can make yourself, you know, just any bit of timber, but clean it up.
Yeah.
You know, like this is rosemary, there's basil or oregano, and then this is parsley, right?
Yeah.
Now, see what's fascinating. Parsley is what they call an apigenic food. Apigenic food. So parsley, chamomile, and celery is an apigenic food. The latest research proves that when you eat apigenic foods, you don't get cancer.
Okay.
Amazing. So I've got a whole list of them. So this is a prime example of an apigenic food. But it's preferable that you grow it yourself. Because when you grow your own parsley, you've got iron in it, you've got all the chlorophyll in it, and it's got the taste.
What about the pots they sell in the supermarket?
That's
it's
fine.
Fresh, so
yeah, that's fine. But what you've got to do, that's how you can start. You buy a pot from the supermarket, and then you bring it home, and then you get your own compost, which you make up, or you can buy.
Okay.
And then I use a particular rock dust from Scotland. I did 4 years of research on that. Rock dust, 420 million years old. And that rock dust is full of minerals. That's the key. You've got to put minerals in your herb pot, so that's when the flavour is so much better. Because you see, when plants lack minerals, like we lack minerals, what actually happens is we die. Because minerals are the spark plug to your life, you know, it's the spark plug to your fire, right? So, for example, when you've taken this home and you put it there and then you put the rock dust around it, I put rock dust around our plants every 2 months. So they're constantly mineralised, you see, like that.
Okay.
So now what actually happened is that's the key. You can start with that. Okay, next one. Just an example, right? So there's basil, there's rosemary, there's chives, sweet basil. You can have sweet basil different types. There's thyme again. Thyme's a very favourite of mine. Sweet mint, oregano, curl parsley. You can do that in 3 pots like that, and that will grow for about 8 months of the year.
Okay.
Right.
That's
Next
great.
one. Yeah. Now, of course, one of the most known ways is that they use mint like to make tea, and this is incredible. If you have a heavy meal, like say you're eating a lot of meat, right? If you had 1 or 2 cups like that, bang, digestion. This is amazingly good for you. So if you've got irritable bowel syndrome, if you've got any kinds of digestive upset, Bang.
This is it.
Mint
Okay.
tea.
Mint tea.
Mint tea with honey.
Yeah.
Right, one of my
And
favourites.
this is
right?
so nice to drink, isn't it? So
It's beautiful.
refreshing.
Yeah, it's very refreshing, especially in winter and summer. You know,
Yeah.
in summer you drink it hot. In winter you can have it iced, but I always put a bit of honey with it.
You mean the other way around, right?
No,
So in winter hot?
In winter hot. Sorry,
Yeah,
winter
okay.
hot. Yeah, winter hot.
I was gonna say, okay.
Yes, summer cold.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, next one. Now you see, here we go. See, there's the onion base, and there's your bay leaves,
Yeah.
and then you put your chicken on top of that,
Cool.
or whatever.
Nice.
You know, that's the way to do it. Okay. Next one. Now this is something that Petrina often does. As you can see, you've got olives, you've got parsley, you've got, for example, this is the parsley here. See?
Yeah.
Here's the parsley. You see, like that. See? See? And this, you see the colour, a green that is?
Yeah.
Now this is Italian parsley, flat leaf parsley. That's one of the richest parsleys you get, right, like that. So when you get that, it's really, really tasty, and you're getting a lot of iron. So if you're anemic,
Yeah.
you eat about half a cup of parsley every day. It will bring up your blood cells quite strongly. Right? Now this rice here is like a arboreal type rice, but you can use brown rice, red rice, black rice, white rice, and then you can make a fantastic dish.
Nice.
But the herbs is what makes a difference.
Okay. Ronald, fascinating as normal, but we do have to go now.
I know.
Over time, but thank you so much.
You've
definitely sold us on the herbs, definitely, I have to say. I mean, I love herbs anyway, but I want to do a bit more with them now. Thank you.
Always
And we'll
delighted.
see you again very soon.
Great.
Thanks.